I'm Max Lopez. This is the Blue Wave. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on five different counts of bribery and wire fraud. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why he was never really a true progressive and a true leftist at all, in my opinion. And in a perfect America, he would have never been considered that at all by the majority of people. And we're going to look at his response that he released last night after we read some of this ABC article that shows exactly why he's making the sort of comments he's making about the Biden administration. And then we're going to look at clips from today, a press conference that he did where he takes more swipes at the Biden administration. And really, it's indicative of how much he favors Donald Trump in this upcoming election, and the sources where he's getting his funding from may very much have something to do with that due to their political motivations. But before we do that, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with somebody who's into politics. It helps YouTube take my channel more seriously and get the word out to more and more people. So let's go ahead and jump in here to this ABC News article, and then we're going to look at his video he released. So it says, on the night he was elected 110th mayor of New York City, former police captain Eric Adams vowed to fight for those the city has betrayed. The city betrayed New Yorkers every day, especially the ones who rely on it the most. My fellow New Yorkers, that betrayal stops on January 1, Adams said that night in November 2021. For the past year, federal authorities have been investigating the possibility of corruption at City Hall, issuing subpoenas for Adams and members of his inner circle. It all led up to the historic moment on September 25th when Adams became the first sitting New York City mayor to be indicted. The indictment was sealed as of Wednesday evening, and the charges were not immediately revealed. Adams has denied any wrongdoing and vowed to fight for his innocence. So let's go ahead and look at his response now to that indictment that came down last night.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target, and a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. If I'm charged, I know I am innocent. I will request an immediate trials so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief, I put the people of New York before party and politics. Now, if I am charged, many may say I should resign because I cannot manage the city while fighting the case. I can also understand how everyday New Yorkers will be concerned that I cannot do my job while I face accusation. But I have been facing these lies for months since I began to speak out for all of you and their investigation started. Yet the city has continued to improve. Make no mistake, you elected me to lead this city, and lead it I will. I humbly ask for your prayers and your patience as we see this through. God bless you, and God bless the city.
So there's Eric Adams' statement that he made, released it last night, proclaiming his innocence and throwing blame at the Biden administration. And now what we're going to watch is another clip of Eric Adams speaking, two different clips actually, of Eric Adams speaking at a press conference today, this morning.
How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah. The very first time you actually read this 57-page indictment, this is the first time you actually saw the allegations against you. And in reference to your statement last night with regard to speaking out about the migrant crisis, exactly who in the federal government, White House, would you say is targeting you before speaking out? We're talking about the Biden administration, or we're talking about Homeland Security. So who are we talking about with regard to that? And the first time you actually read this indictment today?
I think that your second question, I think you need to ask the federal prosecutors who gave the directive and the orders. I don't know, but we should ask them who gave the directive and orders that we're going to take on and create this group of lies. They have the answer to that question. When it comes down to reading it, I peruse through it to get the top lines. The attorneys are going to dig into the crevices of it, but it is clear. Everyone that knows me knows I follow campaign rules and I follow the law. That is how I lived my life, and I don't see coming into the 60s in my age to all of a sudden change what I've done all the time. I follow the law and I follow the campaign rules.
All right, so there it is. Now we're going to watch Eric Adams getting shouted down by protesters at this same press conference.
Well, he's certainly descending on the podium. He's walking over right now. We're all very curious to hear what he has to say now that the charges are known to everybody. They have been unsealed, and he has a court date next week. So we are waiting right now to hear what he's about to say. In the meantime, one last question for you.
No, I think we're getting ready to hear from the Mayor Adams.
There he is.
Mayor Adams, for the first time since learning of this indictment, let's listen to the mayor with a smile on his face.
This is not a black day. This is a youth day. This is a youth day, Eric Adams. This is not a black day. Your policies are anti-black. You are a disgrace to all black people in this city. The things that you have done are unconscionable. You hurt our schools. Our streets are dirty. Children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous.
So as we're waiting for Mayor Adams to speak, it sounds like he's being heckled by a protester, and you can hear through what sounds to be one of those speaker phones, one of those megaphones.
Megaphone.
And so Mayor Adams is waiting for that person to stop. Let's listen to Mayor Adams.
Thank you for being here.
Wow, so a lot of tension there. Here's the thing, is that Eric Adams has never really presented policies that I, as a progressive, or I believe the majority of the Democratic Party, would agree with, and has always been very, very conservative on immigration. But he is very quick to blame the Biden administration for immigrants coming into New York City, but he fails to mention that it was the Republican-controlled House of Representatives that ultimately crashed Biden's border bill that would have significantly reduced the amount of illegal border crossings happening at the United States-Mexican border. But Donald Trump and Mike Johnson ultimately did everything they could to sabotage that because Donald Trump wanted to run on the issue in this upcoming election. So really, the Republicans have a lot of blame, and they haven't tried to do anything about the amount of border crossings happening other than complain about it. Whereas Biden administration and the Democrats put forward a plan that would have reduced the amount of crossings that was ultimately shot down by the Republicans. And, you know, it's interesting that he's parroting talking points on immigration straight from the right wing and MAGA, when he allegedly is receiving received $10 million of campaign funds from foreign sources, some of which include the Turkish government. And we all know that Erdogan there in Turkey much favors Donald Trump winning the election. So you wonder if Eric Adams' political motivations are very much being financially motivated by foreign adversaries of the United States of America who have a particular favorite in who they want to win this upcoming election in November. So there seems like there's some ties there, and these are very, very serious allegations against the mayor of New York City. As I mentioned earlier, Mayor Eric Adams is now the first mayor in history of New York City to be indicted on federal crimes. And the question now is, will he resign? I believe so. I believe that New York City, being the largest city in the United States of America, it's just going to be impossible for him to continue when news like this has likely shaken millions and millions of people's confidence in his ability to lead. I think that Mayor Eric Adams resigns in the next week or so. He's going to try to ride this out, but these are serious, serious crimes. And if he is convicted of any of these crimes, he would face a significant prison sentence for taking foreign bribes. So, yeah, he's, it was real quick there as well in that press conference to say, well, you need to ask the federal government of why they're coming after me. And, basically saying that it's a witch hunt, that there's nothing to see here. He hasn't done anything wrong. He followed all the laws to a T, and that this is some kind of political agenda or political vendetta that's being carried out by the Biden administration, when that does not seem to be the case. And again, that's a talking point that we've heard quite a bit over there on the other side of the aisle, claiming that any sort of legal repercussions that they're facing is some sort of attack from the federal government on their rights in some kind of way, when really it's just people doing illegal stuff and breaking laws and facing consequences for it. So that's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.